Hey guys, this is Flow Academy. Before we begin today's lesson, let's first review for a little bit. Behaviorism is the dominant school of thought in psychology from the 1920s to 1960s. Classical conditioning involves Ivan Pavlov, which you should remember about his dogs, and John Watson, who conducted little Albert experiment. Operant conditioning is related to Skinner, who pays heed to reinforcement and punishment. Moreover, you need to remember the limitation of this way. Multiple perspectives, which can be referred to as eclectic, mainly combines the advantage of previous ways and beliefs. Several perspectives may give insight to this perspective. If you forget something mentioned in this review, you'd like to watch our previous videos. Today, we will mainly focus on humanist perspectives. And you can see some of those perspectives are the same as some ways we talked about before. By the 1960s, some personality psychologists disagreed with some ideas in psychoanalysis and behaviorism. By comparison to Freud's study of unconscious minds, these humanistic theories focus on ways people strive for self-determination and self-actualization. In contrast to behaviorism's scientific objectivity, they study some healthy people through their own self-reported experiences and feelings, and emphasizes the ability of individuals themselves to realize their creativity and potential of themselves. The humanist perspective was founded by Abraham Maslow as well as Carl Rogers. Maslow is famous for creating the hierarchy of needs, which is used as a basis for the humanist perspective. Carl Rogers considered the idea of self-concept, which pushes an individual to work towards self-actualization. The therapy aspect of this theory relates to focusing on unconditional positive regard and support of the client, no matter what is said during the session. In this way, an individual is better able to feel self-actualized and better about themselves. Abraham Maslow proposed that an individual is motivated by a hierarchy of needs. Basic needs must be met before higher ones can be satisfied. In other words, people only can meet these needs from the bottom to the top. It is also arranged in the order of least important to the most important. Each of these needs is vital to the happiness of the individual. First, sociological needs include hunger and thirst. These are very important to life. However, they are actually less important to the individuals than other needs. Safety needs come next in importance and refer to an individual being able to feel safe in their life. The next one is the need for belonging and love. It is much more important than previous needs, since seeking for the feeling of love and being loved is inherent to our genes and behaviors. It is followed by self-esteem needs. We always desire respect from others and want to make some achievements to prove ourselves as well as our abilities. Another aspect of the hierarchy of needs is self-actualization. This is where an individual will achieve their full and unique potential. If an individual is able to reach self-actualization, they will be better able to achieve happiness. The most important in the hierarchy of needs is self-transcendence needs, in which people need to find meaning and identity beyond themselves and contribute to the whole society. The hierarchy of needs is really important in the humanist perspective. You need to remember each name the sequence and the meaning of each need for the AP exam. Fellow humanistic psychology Carl Rogers agreed with much of Maslow's thinking. Rogers believed that people are basically good and are endowed with self-actualizing tendencies. Roger believed in the ability of therapies to create a growth-promoting climate and held that it requires three conditions. The first condition is genuineness. When people are genuine, they are open with their feelings, drop their facades, and are transparent and self-disclosing. Next one is acceptance. When people are accepting, they offer unconditional positive regard, an attitude of grace that values us, even knowing failures. It is next one is acceptance. When people are accepting, they offer uncondi Next one is acceptance. When people are accepting, they offer unconditional positive regard and an attitude of grace that values us even knowing our failings. It is a profound relief to drop our pretenses, confess your worst feelings, and discover that we are still accepted. It is in a good marriage, a close family, or an intimate friendship. We are free to be spontaneous without fearing the loss of others' esteem. However, it doesn't mean it is spoiling, blind trust, or overlook of the truth. For example, if you cheat on an exam, I, as one of your friends, will accept this behavior, but it doesn't mean that I agree with your behavior, and I may tell you plagiarism is bad. The last one is empathy. When people are empathetic, they share and mirror others' feelings and reflect their meanings. Finally, here come some limitations of humanist behavior. Finally, here comes some limitations of humanistic theories. First, the concepts are too vague and subjective. Maslow considered self-actualizing people as open, spontaneous, loving, self-accepting, and productive. It is actually not a scientific description with no data and scientific methods to prove it. It is only a description based on the therapist himself, which could be distinct for different individuals. Furthermore, the individualism encouraged by humanistic psychology, trusting and acting on one's feelings, being true to oneself, fulfilling oneself, can, the critics have said, lead to the self-indulgence, selfishness, and an erosion of moral restraints. Indeed, it is those who focus beyond themselves who are most likely to have more friends, to enjoy life, and to cope efficiently with stress. Meanwhile, humanistic psychologists believe in secure, non-defensive self-acceptance as actually the first step towards loving others. However, people who feel intrinsically liked and accepted for who they are, not just for their achievements, exhibit less defensive attitudes. The last criticism is that it overestimates the kind and angelic parts of our human nature, but underestimates evil parts of human nature. It is very difficult to explain the number and the range of truly terrible acts that people commit if other peoples are intrinsically good or realistic. If all the people are intrinsically good or realistic to solve some problems of overpopulation, terrorism, and the spread of nuclear weapons through humanist perspective. That's basically for today. Here are some questions. You can try it and check your understanding of humanist perspective. Next time I will show the answer to you. Thanks for listening.